Has your child learning to manage OCD ever told you, "I'm broken"? Have you ever thought about your child as broken? Well, this video is for you. We'll explore the high cost of thinking of people as broken, and then I'd like to show you a different path. Hi, I'm Dr. Vicki Rackner. I'm the founder of Free Me from OCD. I call on my experience as the mother of a son diagnosed with OCD when he was in college, a physician, and a certified life coach. Well, I remember meeting a new friend, Nancy. I took her out to lunch to celebrate her birthday, and she told me all about her husband and about her work. But most of all, we talked about her daughter, Sophia. She was such a proud mom. She pulled out her phone and showed me the pictures of Sophia's artwork. She showed me a video of Sophia singing, and I remember saying, "American Idol, here we come." And then she told me that a couple of years ago, Sophia had been diagnosed with autism. She told me about all of the things that she had done to help Sophia, in her words, live a normal life. So she researched schools and summer programs. She set up play dates. She met with teachers and other parents to advocate for Sophia. And then she told me, it's been a tough week. Sophia just got kicked out of her third school. And as I tucked her into bed that night, she looked up at me and she asked me, "Are you going to throw me away?" And I was confused. "Sophia, what do you mean?" And Sophia said, "Well, you throw broken toys away, and I'm broken." Well, by this time, Nancy was crying. And she said, "Sometimes I wonder if Sophia is right. Maybe she is broken, and I'm just not doing a very good job of fixing her. Maybe I should give up. Maybe she'll never be normal." Whew. Nancy showed great courage to share her unfiltered thoughts with a new friend. I saw her pain. But here's the deal. I had to wonder how many times a day Nancy thought, "Sophia is broken and my job is to fix her." This could be the thought running most of the hours of her waking day. Now, clearly, autism is different than OCD that we're here to talk about. However, what they share is that the target organ impacted is the brain. Now, we live in a society that treats medical conditions that involve the brain differently than other medical conditions. If your child had crooked teeth, there would not be a judgment about getting braces. Well, OCD is kind of like having a crooked brain. The best evidence-based treatment for OCD, which is ERP, is like braces for the brain. It's using the mind to manage the brain. Now, I will concede that unmanaged OCD can disrupt lives and families. I'm not trying to minimize the pain associated with OCD. However, does that mean that your child learning how to manage OCD is broken? Well, as you learn more about OCD, you're getting some insight into how the human brain works. First, we all have thoughts. Cognitive neuroscientists from Canada published a study in 2020 documenting that we really do have about 60,000 thoughts a day. Now, what are thoughts? They're just sentences in your brain. Most of us don't really think about our thoughts. We're taught to just accept our thoughts as true. And some thoughts run below the radar of consciousness. After the murder of George Floyd, for example, we had a national conversation about racism. Most of us would say that we're not racist. We don't consciously engage in hate speech. However, if you did what I did and took an exam that identifies unconscious bias, you might have been surprised, as I was, to discover prejudice that hides in the shadow of my conscious thought. Well, if OCD has taught you anything, it's this. Thoughts shape our lives. If I want it to be truly inclusive in my life, I need to be aware of my thoughts, even those that hide in my conscious shadows. You know that the start of an OCD drama begins with a special kind of thought called an obsession. This is a random thought in your child's brain generated from a brain wiring glitch I call the OCD monster. You've learned that thoughts create feelings. Obsessions lead to very uncomfortable feelings like anxiety or disgust or fear. It's not the obsessive thought that our kids find to be so painful. It's the feelings that the thoughts elicit. They don't want to feel this way anymore. So in an effort to get a reprieve from the pain, they perform the actions we call compulsions. Then the actions create life results. When OCD is given more power, it consumes more hours in the day and encroaches on healthy living. So all of the pain and disability associated with OCD begins with a thought. And again, a thought is nothing more than a sentence in your mind. Well, you have thoughts about yourself. You might think, I'm awesome, I'm a dedicated parent, or I'm a bad parent, or I'm a hard worker, or I'm lazy. You have thoughts about the world. The world's unfair. The world's out to get me. You just can't get the help that you need. Or great things come my way. You have thoughts about the people in your life. My defiant child isn't listening to me or doing the work she needs to do. Or my daughter is working hard and making progress managing OCD. Or if you think about a friend, hey, she's a dear friend and I'd do anything for her. Or this person is trying to manipulate me. Or my boss is a jerk, or my boss is great. These thoughts frame how you interpret another person's actions. If you respond to a child with the thought, he's giving me a hard time, you'll feel differently and act differently than if you thought he's having a hard time. You also have thoughts about the events in your life. OCD is the worst thing that happened to me, or OCD is a chance for my child to master powerful life skills. Now, your thoughts shape where your attention goes, and that shapes how you experience the world. You can test this for yourself. Below, you'll find a link to a basketball challenge video. Watch it and count the number of times that the basketball is passed. Just put me on pause and do it before you listen to this spoiler. All right, well, welcome back. If you're like most people, you did not see the gorilla that walked right through the scene of the players. Watch the video again and look for the gorilla. How could you miss something hidden in plain sight like this? How does Nancy overlook her daughter's gifts for drawing and singing? It's one of the design flaws of the human brain. If your child is managing OCD, each of the obsessions and compulsions can be like the basketball changing hands. That's what we're focused on. Unmanaged OCD can be like a black hole of attention. All the attention gets sucked in. What's lost in this focus on OCD? The qualities that make them the amazing people they are. These thoughts are like the gorilla that gets lost in the focus on obsessions and compulsions. All right, let's play out what actually happens when your child holds the thought, I'm broken, or you hold the thought, my child is broken. What kinds of feelings does that generate? Despair? Hopelessness, maybe? When your child thinks, I'm broken, does that inspire your child to dig in and do the hard work to manage OCD? Probably not. If you think, my child with OCD is broken, does that inspire you to offer calm family leadership? Probably not. The human brain behaves in predictable ways. It offers this broken message as a way of making sense of the world. That does not mean that the message is true or real. Optical illusions fool you even when you know you're looking at an optical illusion. So if you witness yourself having a thought about your child being broken, say, how human of me. Also know that you can swap out the thoughts about brokenness with thoughts that lead to the actions and the results you want, which is to free you and your child and your family from the tyranny of OCD. So what if you swap the broken thought with glasses get broken, bones get broken, but people cannot be broken. My child is a whole person managing OCD. Or my child is more than OCD. It's just a part of her. Generally, when I have this conversation with the parents whom I coach, I get pushback. They say, let me give you all the evidence that my child really is broken. I just respond, you have a choice about hanging on to that thought. I'm not telling you to release it. However, know that it's a choice, and know that if you, in fact, gave up this idea of your child's being broken, it would free up a lot of energy to do the work that you want and need to do to free your child from OCD. So you always have the choice of swapping out thoughts about brokenness with more helpful thoughts. My child's got this. They're learning how to manage their brain. They're getting better every day. They're getting stronger every day. Now, do you remember when your kids were first learning how to walk? They stumbled and they fell. That's just part of mastering a new skill. So, what if you tried the experiment of swapping the thoughts with brokenness with another thought, like, my child's awesome. My daughter's courageous. I'm awesome. I'm putting in the work and getting stronger every day. So, if you're the parent of a child of OCD, you might observe the thought, my child is broken, pass through your consciousness. You don't need to judge your brain for offering this thought. You don't need to judge yourself for having this thought. And you don't have to accept the thought as true. Imagine that somebody has diabetes or breast cancer. Do you think of that person as broken? No, they're a whole person managing diabetes. They're a whole person managing breast cancer. The disease is not who they are. It's what they manage. So this thought work of shifting from the thought, my child is broken, to a more helpful thought can be hard work. Why do it? Well, first, we're asking our own kids to do this kind of thought work. We're asking them to witness their brain and deciding which thoughts that they're going to dismiss and which thoughts that they are going to embrace. When we as parents do this, we can live in more integrity and support our own kids with more authenticity. Second, the reason to challenge this thought about brokenness is because a lot of the pain of managing OCD is about the pain of seeing your child as broken. And all of that pain is optional. You can get rid of that pain by just shifting your thoughts. And third, and most importantly, you are most powerful as a force for healing when you hang on to the image of the best version this person is, whether it's your child or your partner, and it's especially important when the other person forgets. So let's get back to my friend Nancy. After our friendship evolved, I shared with her some of the ideas that I'm sharing with you today. She put them into action. She consciously replaced the thought about Sophia being broken with the idea that Sophia is whole and complete. She said it transformed her life. Suddenly, she's responding to Sophia differently. She feels more connected to Sophia, and she feels like a more empowered parent. Now, Nancy is not the only person whose life was really changed by swapping out a single thought. Every time I coach a parent client and I help them swap out the broken thought with a more helpful thought, things really do shift. They see their kids differently. They parent in a different way. They think about OCD in a different way. Now, does that mean that their children are going to magically be able to manage OCD more effectively? No, that's really in your kids' hands. You can control yourself, though, and you want to do everything in your power to offer the kind of leadership that's going to help your child and your family get to the other side of OCD. So how about you? Would you like to do the experiment about swapping out a thought about your child being broken to a more helpful thought that works for you, that your brain believes? I hope you do. If you do, let us know. What kinds of results did you get? Leave a comment below. Well, I want to thank you for investing this time learning an idea that will hopefully help you be a more empowered parent. If you found value in this, please feel welcome to pass these ideas along to other people who are also supporting somebody that they love learning to manage OCD. You've got this.